Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So sorry, I'm coming a bit late. This is about, I'm like a minute late or so. But hi everyone, and welcome to this global webinar organized by TORG and TROGSS. We'll just take a minute to allow others join in. But whilst we are waiting for others to join in, we'd like to recognize the presence of everyone who has joined in from well over 37 countries of the world. Um, if it's not a hassle, we think we could have you just type in where you're joining in from. Share with us your country, where you work, maybe your name as well, so we can follow and get to meet you virtually. If you think it's okay, you could just help us type in where you're joining in from. As of now, we have about 50 people joining us from, again, like I mentioned, 37 countries of the world. And again, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Today, I will not be moderating alone. I have an amazing professor who will be joining me on this who will be joining me on this today. She's from the US, and I'd like Professor Akinlade to please say hello to the people before I welcome you officially to take over on this platform.
Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Yes.
All right.
Yes,
So
we can hear you.
my name is Oluwatoyin Akinlade, and together with Dr. Michael today, we'll be moderating this session.
Incredible. Welcome. I see that we have lots of big wings in the call already. I see Professor Adele. Professor Adele Abu Amrad had a beautiful section with us last month. It was such an amazing time. Thank you so much for joining us. And he's the president of TROGSS, president and founder, if I am not mistaken.
It's a pleasure, and I had to come to support Professor ÖZMEN. He's a good member, a great member of TORG+TROGSS also.
Thank you. Supported you the last time you came in. Let me put Professor Mahir on the hot seat. I hope he came on the last time to support you. This one you're supporting him today.
Of course, I mean, Adele always supports me. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor for me to be with you. But we need someone to accept the people on the waiting room because there are
I'm doing that.
There are still many on the waiting room, so we need to accept them quickly because otherwise they will miss some of the part of the speech as well.
Yeah, we are on that, and everyone will be accepted in. That's not a problem. Yeah. So far we are counting almost 60 persons joining the call from again 37 countries of the world. And I like to say that it is an honor to be hosting this webinar alongside my dear colleague, Dr. Akinlade. Dr. Akinlade is, again, like I said, she's calling in from the US, and I am calling in from Nigeria. My name is Michael Irayame, and I am the Assistant Director for the Global Education and Training. And we are hosting this amazing events under the platform of TORG. I like to call TORG TORG because it's just simple for me to just say. But TORG is an organization that is really dear to my heart, as well as TROGSS. These are two amazing organizations that are dear to my heart. And I'd like to again welcome everyone who are joining in, whether you're athletes of these two organizations or you have great interest and passion for what is going to be talked about today. We'd like to say you're welcome and you are in the right place, to joining this call today. Again, if you're just joining in, we had mentioned that you could please just drop where you're calling in from. We see Satai calling from Iraq. Welcome, and thank you for joining. We have the whole world represented on this call today, and it's a pleasure to have you all here. It's just 2 minutes of the hour on this call. We don't like to waste any of our time at all. Like I said earlier, we have the president and founder of TROGSS here, Adele Abu Emrad. He's here, and we have the founder and president of TORG, Professor Adibu Salah. She's here as well. You could like to say a few words. I'll call on Dr. Adele Abu Emrad to do a few 30 seconds of say hello to everyone. Yeah, Dr. Adibu Salah, you have the floor now.
Thank you, everyone. I'm excited to be here, and thank you to our speaker for honoring that invitation. I really want to say thank you to all the members and leaders from TROGSS that connected and from all over the world. I know everyone is busy. Thank you for taking the time out of no time, even to be connected to this session. I want to say thank you to the Global Training and Education Committee from TORG for organizing and facilitating this session. Thank you to everyone connected. As you go along, make sure that you participate actively. That's what we want to see, either in the chat box or by raising your hand. We want to see your comments. We want to see your participation. And I know we're going to learn from a legend, and we're going to learn from you as well. So thank you for connecting. And I hope to see everyone in our next session as well. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ajibusala. Always a pleasure to hear your voice. How's Ireland now?
Not bad. The weather is nice. It's not freezing at the moment, so it's really cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'd like to also take a 30 seconds greet from Professor Adel Abu Amrad, just to say hi to the people.
You want me to say something?
Yes, please say hello to everyone.
Well, hello everyone, and I am really pleased to be back to TORG because it's I discovered it in the session I gave my lecture. But I'm really amazed because you are very motivated, you are very united, and there's many young people within. So it's a real pleasure and an honor to be here and to support you. And thank you for inviting Professor ÖZMEN, because he's a great added value to any meeting, any scientific meeting. Professor Abushola, thank you for hosting this conference. And I hope we will have many meetings later on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Permit me to also do a 30 seconds. Let's have Professor Rodolfo Avedo just say hello to us as well. By the way, Dr. Avedo, you're always on the move, always on the move. I remember the last time we had this call, you were on your way as well. So Professor Rodolfo Avedo, you could say hello.
Hello, greetings everybody from the TORG and the TROGSS family. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I could not miss it. Here to support my friend, Ambassador Professor ÖZMEN. Thank you. Thank you for the leadership, and thank you for organizing this wonderful event. We need more events like this, and you're setting the pace and you're setting the boundaries high and leaving a mark in the world. So thank you so much. Honored to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Rodolfo.
Yeah.
May I ask you something? I can see that there is Professor Targarona in between the participants. He is the previous president of the European Association of Endoscopic Surgery, and also he was the president of IFSES. If Eduardo can hear us, can you say something to the people here? Professor Targarona, he's a good friend of mine. He has dedicated his life to endoscopic surgery. I would like all of you to know him. Eduardo, can you hear us?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you very much.
Say something, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Really, it's a big pleasure to attend this session. I was a lot of curiosity and of interest because I consider that it's a very important topic. And also, I'm extremely happy that is because it has a wonderful chairman. This is Professor ÖZMEN. I think that this project, if it is in your hands, will be a big success. Congratulations, and happy to be also to hear and to join this idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Eduardo, for also joining in, and everyone who is joined in from all over the world. Thank you. I'll quickly like to hand over to Professor Akinlade to take it up from here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Michael. It's an honor and privilege to be here today. And ladies and gentlemen, also distinguished colleagues, it's a privilege for me to be reading the citation of our guest speaker today, who is Ambassador Professor Dr. Mahir ÖZMEN. And Today, he's going to be speaking to us about future of surgery and surgery for future. He's a world-renowned surgeon. He's an educator, pioneer in minimally invasive surgical techniques, whose illustrious career spans decades of groundbreaking work in robotic, laparoscopic, bariatric, metabolic, and oncologic surgery. He holds multiple prestigious academic and professional titles, including Doctor of Medicine, Master of Surgery, Fellow of American College of Surgeons, Fellow of Royal College of Surgeons, Fellow of American Society for Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery, and Fellow of European Board of Surgery. He's currently serving as the President of Endoscopic and Laparoscopic Surgeon of Asia, HELSA, and is also the Professor of Surgery for Sapienza University in Rome, which is one of the most oldest and respected institution in Europe. He's also the founding president of the Turkish Society of Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery, a testament of his commitment to advancing surgical care and education at the national and international level. Moreover, he is a proud and active member of the Robotic Global Surgical Society, which is TORG+TROGSS Ambassadors Club, where he contributes his expertise in shaping the global discourse on surgical innovation and diplomacy. Widely recognized as global educator, surgical leader, and advocate for excellence in patient-centered surgical care. He is trained and has continued to train and mentor new generation of surgeons across the continent. His visionary work continues to influence the evolution of surgical practices and policy globally. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished colleagues, I want you to please join me in extending a warm and respectful welcome to our distinguished guest speaker today, Ambassador Professor Dr. Mahir ÖZMEN, whose contribution embodies the very spirit and future of modern surgery. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and also thank you for the presentation. I will try to do my best, and it's an honor for me to talk in front of many important and famous surgeons, and some of them like Targarona, Adel Ebumurad, and Rodolfo are the famous or pioneer surgeon in the definitive areas of surgery. And also I had the honor to work with them, especially Professor Targarona is the pioneer of the laparoscopic splenectomies, especially on the European side. He is the most important teacher of the endoscopic surgery. It's going to be an honor for me to talk in front of him also. So let me start with sharing my screen first, and if I can get this, if I can like this one. I hope you are seeing my screen now. So I will do it like that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see my screen now. I will get all of these out. So today I will try to share all my experience, all my view with you regarding the future of surgery. Actually, it's surgery for the future, but it's going to be future of surgery as well. We will see whether there's going to be a kind of surgery that we are talking today, or it's going to be totally different kind of surgery in the future. So I'm an honor to be a member of the TORG+TROGSS, and also I'd like to thank Professor Adel Ebumurad and Professor Rodolfo Oviedo for the invitation, and also would like to start with to say that I have no disclosure with any companies, and I would like to start with the cognitive change. And if I can ask you again to accept the people who are waiting in the waiting room, I can see on my screen, so I need someone to control that waiting room. So there are 4 or 5 people waiting for that as well. So in 20th century, we started surgery with the development on the asepsy and antisepsy with the First World War, and then it's followed by the endoscopy and the evolution of the visualization systems took us up to laparoscopy, and which is followed by the development on the surgical device and stapling techniques, and which resulted in the modern hospitals and the technology and research centers. But all of them we call as modern surgery, but we failed to decrease the rate of complication around 30% now. But it is still up high, and we need to take it down to 0. So in 21st century, we are expecting that with the help of the robotic surgery, artificial intelligence, and some cognitive improvement on the surgical side, we will probably take the rate of complication close to 0, hopefully. So if we start with the defining the intelligence and the artificial intelligence, both are very important for the surgery and the robotic surgery as well. So we need to look at the history of the 3D first. So first 3D movie patent filed in 1894, and the first movie was actually directed by Ned Deverick. It was the silent film, and the name of the film was The Power of Love. And in 1953, Queen's Coronation filmed as 3D also. So when you talk about the Queen and the 3D, and if you are going to talk about the competing, you need to talk on a man. He is Alan Mason Turing, and he is a very famous engineer and mathematician, but he's also a philosopher. One of his papers was published in Journal of Philosophy, most cited paper in the history of science. So he born in London, and he's perhaps the most important mathematician of the 20th century as well. And during the World War II, Alan Turing worked as a cryptographer, as a code breaker. He broke the code of the Enigma, and he saved the millions of people's life. And he developed the first basic ideas that would form the basis of the computers today. And in 1950 paper, the functioning of machines and the intelligence has become one of the most cited paper of the modern philosophy. If you look at the paper on the screen, published in the Quarterly Journal of the Philosophy as well, the computing machinery and the intelligence. So in 1950, he was talking about the intelligence of the machines and the computing, and also machines talking to each other. So he was the founder of the artificial intelligence, definitely, and also he developed a special test called the Turing test, which is very important, and it enabled us to test the humanoid intelligence of the machines that did not yet exist in his time. So the Alan Turing is also was a man who actually working for the government. He made a lot of things for the government, but he was also on the eyes of the government as well. And because he changed the course of the World War II, and he became a target of the British government as well, because he was the man who knew too much. In 1952, Turing met another man, and he had a relation with him. When the state authorities found out about this relation, they issued a warrant for his arrest and arrested him for committing a reprehensible offense. And he was given 2 options: either go to prison or be chemically castrated by injecting a high dose of estrogen. So he accepted the hormone treatment, and in 7th of June 1954, he was found dead in his apartment, and on his side there was a half-eaten cyanide apple which caused the poisonous chemicals, which caused as a suicide subjects, and half-eaten cyanide apple responsible for his death has become the symbol of the Alan Turing's suicide, and also it is known as, you can see here, it's known as the apple's symbol as well. The company changed the color and the shape of the apple during the years, and British government about 60 years ago released apology, a royal apology, and saying that they forgive him for the offenses that led them to punish him, so he was not guilty. So first, I have to say that Alan Turing was not guilty of being homosexual, but he was a very important man. He was encoded the Enigma. He was also acted in the team of the first engineer who did the ENIAC, which was the first computer built in 1946, which is followed by an UNIVAC, which was built in 1951. So Alan Turing was the intelligence behind all of these machines. And I have to say that you can see the size of the machines on that time, the computer size, which was decreased the size of the phone today, and all of them just because of Alan Turing. And the company Apple used Alan Turing's idea, and the Apple, which caused his death, and to show how grateful to him because of the revolution that he made on the computing side. So if we go through the artificial intelligence, after intelligence, there are two kinds of artificial intelligence we have to look for. First one is general artificial intelligence. So I will come back to that, but you all know it from the movies. So there is also narrow or specific artificial intelligence. Whichever artificial intelligence is, both requires the machine learning, deep learning algorithms, and statistical learning as well. So if you go to the deep learning algorithms, you will see that the computer vision, as we are seeing on the medical imaging, diagnosis, and surgical training simulations, they are all actually go through the deep learning algorithms, and the deep neural network is required for that. If you look at the artificial intelligence and the statistical learning, and you can actually go on the medical side and look for the pathology and radiology, computer vision analysis, this is also part of artificial intelligence. So this is general artificial intelligence. We all know from the Terminator movies. But if you look at the narrow artificial intelligence, so they need big data, adequate computer power, deep learning algorithms, and investments. 4 of them are required for any kind of artificial intelligence. If you look at today's technologies, such as Netflix recommendation queue, Google's natural language processing feature, even Tesla's self-driving cars, all of them are actually examples of the artificial intelligence. So if you look at the subfields, you will see that the machine learning and the natural language processing and the computer vision are being used on that part as well. So by the time I'm accepting somebody waiting on the waiting room as well. We are now over 100 participants now. So I will carry on with the explanation of the artificial intelligence now. So big data, what I mean by saying big data. So if you look at the beginning of the Gregorian calendar to 2003, whole data that we had is about 5 exabytes. Since 2012, every 2 days, we are having same amount of data. So if you look at the medical data, 1 minute HD surgery video, we are all making videos from the operations, robotic surgeries, laparoscopic surgeries. We are all making videos of that. So 1 minute of that video on the computer vision side has actually big data, which is equal to 25 CT scan. So in order to analyze all that data, we need machine learning. In order to get some information from that data, which we can use or convert to the robotic side and to teach the machines, we need machine learning. So if you look at the computer power, Moore in 1975 said that we will need to change the computers in every 2 years because millions of linear algebra calculations are happening in each bits of the computer visions and also on the data that we are processing in everyday evaluation. So we used to start with the graphic processing unit, which wasn't not big enough now, which wasn't fast enough. We are now using tensor processing units now, so which is better in energy and better in cost, and the speed is much better. So computer power is actually changing every year. That's why we need to change the iPhones or the other phones every 2 years, as explained by Moore. So because a lot of information are coming and we need millions of algebra calculations to understand the data that we have on that. So what I mean by saying the deep learning algorithms. So if we know the there is one input coming from the that we can see. I asked this to my son, how can I understand, how can I explain this? Because my son is electronic engineer. So he said, when you look something, when you see something, this is the input layer to your brain. So you will see something, you will take it into your brain, and then your brain will give them some meaning, okay? Based on your history or your memory, you will make different layers. So at the end of the layers, this is a hidden layers. It's changeable in between everyone. That makes sense of the different programs that you can change the layers for the analyzers as well. And there is also output layer. So you will act. When you see someone, you will say hi. If you know them, you will say hi. If you don't know them, you will try to introduce yourself. So this is the layers changeable between the people or between the computers or between the programs. Output layer is actually based on the information that we have inside. So to meet or exceed human capabilities, we need the intelligence and also image recognition. It's a computer vision. We need the language, which is natural language processing, to process that data and understand and act accordingly. So at the end, for the artificial intelligence, we need investment. Without money, we cannot do any progress on the science and on the computers and on the artificial intelligence, on the robotics, on the healthcare side as well. So the investment started in 1956. When I show you the computers, the first 2 computers done by the Alan Turing and their friends. So it was 1951-52. The size of the computers were too big, but they were just doing calculations only, algebra calculations. Now it's in 1987. All the investment went up, but at the end, people noticed that it's just an algebra calculation. Nothing is happening. There is no meaning to pay this money. So between 1980 to 1987, called as winter of the artificial intelligence. And in 1987, the interest of the business community increased again, and a lot of investment started on the business side, and we can see that in 2015 it was around $5 billion. It's gone up to $110 billion at the end of at the beginning of 2024, and it's expected to be over $230 billion roughly at the end of 2025 this year. So it's going to go up by 2-folds in 1 year, and hopefully it's going to increase, and it's going to go more than that in about the next 5 years' time, because we need that investment to do technology better. So what is going to change if we have the artificial intelligence in the surgical side? So it's going to help us to eliminate the human errors. It's definitely very important for the decision support systems. It's going to reduce the wrong diagnosis. It's going to reduce the treatment mistakes. It's going to decrease the workload that we are all suffering now. So it's going to increase the time for patient, clinician interaction. It's going to increase the time for surgeons and time for doctors for themselves. So the automation of the computers will help us to save time for the important things, and the robot will do all the work for us as well. So we can call that as a STAR, which is Smart Tissue Autonomous Robotic Systems. So hopefully we will see that in 15 years time. I'll come back to that in a minute. So if you look at the artificial intelligence in healthcare system, you can see the examples of machine learning being used to predict outcome, to diagnose disease from images, to personalize the treatments from patients' data, to decide the treatment, which kind of medication they will have in the oncology side as well. If you look at the example of the natural language processing, which assists the analyzing unstructured medical data, such as patient records, extract the crucial information, you can actually pick up the patient with the high blood pressure between all huge example of the data, millions of the patients' data. You can find out how many of the patients suffering from the diabetes, how many of them are actually suffering from the super obesity, and you can find out robotics in the medical side, especially robotics are being used on the surgical procedures, rehabilitation, and patient care, offering precision and the consistency in various healthcare tasks as well. Computer vision, as I explained previously, is used for the medical imaging analysis like X-rays, MRI, CT scans, and it also aids the diagnostic accuracy and the speed of the process as well. And when you look at the publications, current publications in a couple of years' time, so I would like to show this one as an example. You can analyze these over 7 million patients' data by using just one algorithm, and you can decide or predict the trauma mortality in 7 million patients just by analyzing their data by using one algorithm only. So this is analysis of the example of the artificial intelligence on the analysis of the big data by using machine learning. So this is the trauma outcome predictor. This is the computer program that is kind of algorithms that you can use this one and compare different algorithms in this study. And they developed a trauma outcome predictor program, which is actually being used by your iPhone. You can use TOP, and you can ask a couple of questions when you get the patient, trauma patient in the ambulance. While you are transferring your patient to the hospital, you can actually decide the rate of mortality, 83% accuracy rate, and you can actually analyze or predict the mortality around 92% accuracy rate, and also you can analyze the complications such as ARDC, cardiac arrest, and deep surgical site infection or organ space infection as well. And you can compare the data based on that information that you can actually pick it up when you got the patient on the trauma transport time. You can analyze everything. By the time when you reach the emergency department, all the information will be ready for you. So this is can be done on an iPhone. It's a basic program, and it can be used by any emergency surgeon or emergency doctor as well. We have OpenAI, ChatGPTs, GPT-3, 3.5, 4. We have Grok as well, and there are many OpenAI platforms that we can use on the medical side. We can use for many purposes, and I would like to explain when we look at the OpenAI, we should know that OpenAI includes all the information, available information, which is something like 19 billion web text, 12 billion books initially, and then 15 billion other books also put there, and 3 billion topics available in Wikipedia also put on that computer as well. So every time when you go to OpenAI to look for something, you will actually check through all this information, available information. But you have to know that sometimes ChatGPT, even the GPT-4, 4.5, or Grok can change the available data and can misuse the data and sometimes might misdirect you to come to the wrong conclusion. So you have to be very conclusive, and you have to be very cautious about that, and you have to check in the sorted references as well before you make the certain conclusion. So we can use ChatGPT in any part of the medication, any part of the medicine. We can use for the assessment, we can use the preoperative diagnosis, we can use for the planning, we can use for intraoperative support, and we can use that for the postoperative period as well. What I did is I asked ChatGPT, do you think ChatGPT 4 can help surgeons? Yes, it answered, and it says you can look for the medical literature review, decision support, patient communication. You can also assess your fellows for the training and the education by using ChatGPT. You can also use ChatGPT for data analysis, and some people are using for writing papers and analyzing the data as well. As I said, you have to be very careful by doing that, because the plagiarism is the most important problem that you can end up if you use ChatGPT, because it will never say the references properly, and you might end up in trouble. So what I did is I asked one of my patients' data. I put on ChatGPT a couple of days ago. My patient was suffering from the acute pancreatitis. He had chronic pancreatitis but had an acute attack, and after acute attack I asked ChatGPT, can you write me medication and can you direct my patient what to do on the postoperative follow-up? So I get the list, I checked, everything was correct. So I can say that you can use that artificial intelligence on this pre, intra, and postoperative period, but you have to be careful about the barriers of the implantation. There's always bias on the data, and there are some ethics problems. I will come back to that. And patient safety is important, and patient information should not be out and should not be used by any other people without the permission of the patient. And the data security is important, and patient or the hospital data cannot be used by the third parties without any information or without any knowledge of the patient as well. So what change we expect from the future? Martin Elliott wrote a paper, and he said, okay, we should expect we already had a lot of disruptive changes. So what's going to be next? He was so anxious about that. Technological changes, imaging, virtual reality, augmented reality, mechanical devices, robots, nanorobots, all of them are coming. Big data analysis is going to make a lot of confusion, and technology, society, finance, all the relations will make some trouble and some chaos. And if we don't control it properly, it might end up in a chaos as well. So medicine will change from the generalized medicine to personalized treatment as well. So is surgery going to change, or is surgery going to disappear? We don't know. I asked Grok, what's the future of surgery? Grok said the future of surgery is going to be there, but the robotics and automation will be there, and it will control every setup of the surgery. Artificial intelligence will be used commonly by the surgeons, and the augmented reality and the virtual reality will be combined with the robotics and the automation, and 3D printing, bioprinting, and the twin modeling of the disease and the patients, and the nanotechnology, telemedicine and remote surgery will be there. So you will move from the generalized medicine to personalized medicine. This is the idea, and this is the summary from Grok as well. And I will come to the same conclusion when I finish my talk. You will see, and I will carry on with robotic surgery. So the cognitive revolution started in 20th century, and we needed cognitive revolution at the beginning of the 21st century, and to do something more in order to improve the care of the patient, and in order to improve the surgeon's life as well. So robots are out around at the beginning of 2000 and 2006. But the robot as a word is actually comes from Czech Republic. It was used first by Karel Čapek in 1920. 1920, there was no robot, but he called robot as a forced labor, drudgery, or the bondage. he did write the book called as Rossum's Universal Robot. In that book, he was actually imagining that it's a theater, it's a play of 4 plays of theater, but he was imagining that there will be some kind of robots unpaid as an unpaid mechanical workers who take over human labor. Some of them are actually even human adoptions with artificial intelligence. The book is translated to my language twice, and the first one was in 2013, and 2021 is translated again. That I'm amazed to see that in 1920 he hasn't seen any robot, but he imagined like Alan Turing. Alan Turing was in 1940s. So he was actually writing papers in the philosophy journal, which had a most cited paper in the science arena. But the Karol Čapek was using the name robot and imagining the robotic technology and the mechanical workers and artificial intelligence in his place in 1920s. So how can someone do this, without any knowledge about technology and the science as well? So when we look at the minimally invasive surgery at the beginning, like a robotic surgery, safety was a concern. The cost was quite expensive. Now the safety is increased. The cost is much cheaper. It's available everywhere. The duration of the operation is too short. Learning curve takes about a couple of cases for every fellows. They can come and join 1 or 2 operations, and we will let them to do laparoscopic cholecystectomies easily. And the future application of laparoscopic surgery, we don't know what's going to happen. Either robotic surgery will replace it, or minimally invasive surgery or laparoscopy surgery will be there, but will be used by the robots, kind of arms. But even the robotic surgery is the laparoscopic surgery, is just the different ways of going inside the abdomen. So the trouble with the laparoscopic surgery was there was no direct visualization. So you will put the camera in, you will see the abdomen in the screen, which was 2D, not 3D. But after 40 years, we had the 3D view of the laparoscopic surgery during laparoscopic surgery as well, which was easy to change. But the others, loss of haptic sensation, haptic perception, but the movements of the instruments is restricted during laparoscopy, which wasn't changed and which was not available, not easy to change, because it's based on the fixed pivot point on the abdominal wall. So, but we can easily change the 3D imaging system. When you change from 2D to 3D, you can see that the surgical skills are affected much, and speed is improved, and accuracy and the precision is much better, and the learning curve is shorter, even for the novice surgeon. There are many studies, and if I can show you a couple of them, and you can see that even the task performance by using 3D is definitely much better than 2D vision. And also novice surgeon, if they start surgery by using 3D instead of 2D, they will learn quickly, and they will easily cut a circle, guide the needle, put the suture, as compared to 2D, 3D laparoscopy is better even for the novice surgeon as well. So we can go from here to robotic surgery to say that because robotic surgery is 3D, and learning 3D surgery is definitely better for everyone. And if you look at the artificial intelligence surgery hype cycle and the expectations, we actually were on the minimally invasive surgery side, moved up the robotic nodes. We are actually on this slope now: machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision. And disillusionment of the slope is going to take us up to productivity increase and autonomous actions of the robot by time we will see as well. Initially, as happened in the laparoscopic surgery, When we start doing cholecystectomies laparoscopically in 1992, a lot of people were saying that, even we published a paper saying that mini cholecystectomy is better than laparoscopic cholecystectomy because it's safer as compared to laparoscopy. The complication rate is less. You cannot actually make any injury on the adjacent organs. But same is happening for the robotic surgery as well. When the robotic surgery is out, even the most famous, well-known surgeons from the important centers like King's College London said that particular surgeons are incredibly neophilic. We love this sort of things. It gives us authority. It's a fancy kit. You must have better outcomes, not to play with the kit. That's not true. The robot is not an indicator of the quality. I have to say that I'm not agree with this robot is an indicator of the quality, because if you see better, you can do better. If you do move better inside, you can do dissection better. So like Freddie Hamdi said, we can see the anatomy like we have never seen it before by using robot. So now we can say it like that. But 20 years ago, people were very anxious about robotic surgery and saying that because robots on that time were not actually same robot that we were using now. It's on the beginning time of the robotic surgery, and the arms are better and the software are better. So all the data are actually going to center and analysis are being done to make a better instruments for the robotic surgery as well. So, but the principle of the successful surgery, whatever you do, whatever way or whichever way you use, either open or laparoscopic or robotic, requires education, detailed strategic planning before surgery. You need to have a technical skills. You need to have knowledge and the experience to deal with that part of the body or that part of that kind of disease, and you need accurate and meticulous surgery without harming the environment, and you have to make sure that you're not actually causing any trouble on your patient to support or to feed your ego. There are some facilitating factors, but I have to say that anatomical dissection and hemostasis is very important, and the step-by-step procedure planning, and also to take the easy step first is most important facilitating factors. But of course, you need good vision and lighting, good exposure, and your body position is important, because if you are doing long cases like 6 hours, 7 hours procedures, then you need to be in a proper position. So robotic surgery is good for the surgeon because you can sit and you can do your operation. You can have your coffee during robotic surgery as well. So targets for the future surgery is accurate dissection, errorless suturing, reproducible motion. You have to have a chance to train knee surgeon while you are doing your cases. So you can use 2 robots in the same time, and also you should have the advantage of using more than 1 computers to connect the computers together for yours and for patient advantage. And autonomous action for the future is better, because we need robot to work for us, not us to use the robot only, because the robot now is actually slave for surgeon, but we need robots to do everything for us, so we can have better slave who can do everything for us. So if you look at the available robot now is all of them has 3D, HD and HR view, and it provides a deeper field of view. High precision surgical instruments are designed to perform hand movements with this electronically eliminated handshaking technology. More stable and clearer images obtained, and the more comfortable working opportunity in long-term surgeries is as the surgeon works sitting down. So this is the comparison of the robotic and the laparoscopic surgery. As you can see on the list, that the magnification is better on the robotic side, and also it's ergonomically intuitive, and there's a tremor filter, and also wrist articulation makes the motion scaling better compared to laparoscopy. So robots are being used in every part of the body. not only on the general or the gastrointestinal surgery, but also in the cardiac surgery, neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, gynecology. Every different subspecialization are using robotic surgery at the moment. When we look at the robotic gastrointestinal surgery, learning curve and the educational programs, there are many papers on that. I'm sure the results are much better now, but I can say that the limitation for the gastrointestinal surgery is a loss of haptic feedback, which is going to be overcome by the new Da Vinci 5, as we will have force feedback and haptic feedback on that one. And the cost is still very high, and it definitely requires distinct learning curve associated with the various procedures. So this is Da Vinci X and XI. They all look similar, but when you look at the trend in the United States, this is from paper from 2020, and we are now in 2025. The blue lines or blue figures on the blue columns on the figures shows the robotic. Yeah. Robotic surgeries. So the number of the robotic surgery in every part of the gastrointestinal, esophageal, stomach, pancreas, colon, and rectum are increasing as compared to laparoscopic and open surgery. I'm sure in the future, with the availability of the robot in every center, the number of the robotic surgeries will surpass the number of open and laparoscopic surgery. This is the currently in 2023, they published a number. The new one is going to come this year. This is over 13 million procedures are performed by using Da Vinci systems, which is quite a good number. And we can say that there is over 9,000, currently 9,000 available Da Vinci systems in hospitals globally. And if you look at the newcomers, there are many new robots are coming. Not only Da Vinci, there are robots even from Turkey. There's Avicenna, B-Truck, Hugo from Medtronic, Medicaroid from Hinatori is from Medicaroid from Japan, MiroSearch from Germany, Senhance, Sentire. I was able to use this Sentire Cornerstone Robotics in Chinese University of Hong Kong. It's coming from China. It's similar to Da Vinci. It's somehow it's I felt better than Da Vinci. You know, I mean, joysticks are better, and the dissection I found is better than Da Vinci. And the cost, if you look at the cost, half price as compared to Da Vinci as well. Mantra from India and Versus from CMR. CMR is very common in the Gulf area and also in UK, but it's definitely different than the other robots. Is sort of one step up laparoscopic surgery as compared to Da Vinci. So I cannot call that as a whole robotic surgery as well. So this is us in the Medical Robotics Center in Chinese University of Hong Kong. This is Sentire. This guy is Professor Samuel Ao. He was the professor in MIT, and he was in the team of Da Vinci SI, X and XI. So he went back to Hong Kong, and now he established his own robot. He's the owner of the company as well. Cornerstone, Samuel Ao, and Philip Chu is the other person. He is the dean of the medical school. So, but only AI in robotic surgery. Only AI in robotic surgery now is actually the robotic staplers. So if you can look at here, the stapling device for the robot can actually feel the thickness of the tissue. And if it is not suitable for your stapling device, like the Signia that we are having on the laparoscopic surgery, it will not fire. So this is the only artificial intelligence that we have in the robot. Now I am using this for the, not only for the laparoscopic surgery, for the bariatric surgery, I'm using this for the colorectal surgery as well. I have to say that for the low rectal tumors, it's easy and it's better to use and to fire it. And because the angulation of the staple is around 120 degree as compared to standard stapling devices, it's definitely better to move in the deep pelvis as well. So if we go through, this is the new Da Vinci 5. It's available in a couple of centers in the United States. At the moment, Can you just turn your microphone, ladies? Head-in conceptual is definitely realistic, better 3D images, and force feedback and haptic feedback is available in this new DaVinci. But the future of robotic surgery, we will see that everything is going to move on from linear robotics to non-linear robotics, which is concentric tube robots. We will see it on the SP DaVinci currently, and all of them, like a spider arm, is going to come from one single port, and then 3 arms or 4 arms is going to come out inside the abdomen or inside the endoluminal. If you are using endoluminal robots, it's going to come out inside colon or inside any organ that you can move in, so you can use it for the vascular surgery as well, and for the artificial intelligence and the machine learning and the telepresence in surgery and the global translation. We will see that we are going to move from laparoscopic robotic surgery side to digital surgery side. So robotic surgery was actually chain between laparoscopic and digital surgery. What I mean by digital surgery: digital surgery requires more than robotic platform and more than any information, any available technology that you are using for laparoscopic surgery. You need connectivity across different systems, and you need to analyze the data in the same time. So they try to do this on the DaVinci 5, so you can actually analyze the data and you can teach in the same time. And also you need to leave the footprint and make sure that the footprint is going to be not going to be there. So if you look at the time table, time shifting from 2000 to 2020, 25, we are actually 5 years behind because of the COVID, I think, pandemic. And nonlinear robotics started in 2015, expected to start there. But I used first SP in Sunnyvale when it was actually not out, around 2017, 18, just before the COVID pandemic. But then we had to wait another 3-4 years time. So SP is now being used. It's not common, but it's available, around 100 SPs available in big centers. The data as a non-linear robotics, the data of the SP is being available now. So as you can see here, DaVinci SP has 3 tripods, like a spider arms coming from the single ports that you can do everything inside. So there are some other companies, single ports robot coming out now, support from Titan, and also ELC from Colibris. And you can see the one coming from the Chinese University of Hong Kong as well. And I had the chance to use the first one here with Philip Chiu here. So this is the first prototype of the robot. So they probably finished and they applied for the license for the SP as well. So when we are using the robotic surgery, the feature surgery, we have just started to use the special programs to combine augmented reality visualization and the robotic surgery screen together in order to analyze the computer CT scan data or MRI data and use it for the segmentation and identification of the lesions and structures. And you can do it manually or you can use programs for that. So there is a program called Visible Patient Planning Software. As you can see here, it can be used for liver, it can be used for the lung as well, in any solid organs that you can locate your tumor. You locate on the CT or the MRI, and you can put on the this program, and it will take you directly to the screen that you are doing your operation. And you can see here augmented reality in the OR when you are doing this is the urologic surgeon. He is doing the kidney resection, partial nephrectomy. But if you can see here, you can actually adjust the overlay of the vessels and the tumor as well, and you can decide the dissection plans based on the program by using the iris. the number of the unnecessary resection or the decisions change in 20% of the patient. 16.5% would have changed from radical nephrectomy to partial nephrectomy, and 3.5% is changed from partial nephrectomy to radical nephrectomy. So it's actually quite helpful, and you can see every government are paying money based on the government richness level on the virtual reality research. And you can see that China, United States, and all of them, and virtual reality in surgery is gonna evolve everything, starting from education to post-operative follow-up as well. This is one of the example of the captive view. Captive view is going to change the future surgery for the brain surgeon, but the new program will be available for the other surgical subspecialties as well. So you can have the CT scan or the MRI of your patient, you can put on the captive view, and you can locate your tumor, and you can do your dissection on your patient's twin. You can create your twin, and you can locate the tumor on the exact location, and you can do the dissection many times before you actually do the real surgery on your patient. So this is another options that we are going to go through directly to autonomy. But I would like to mention that in Artificial Intelligence Surgery Journal, I have the honor of being one of the editorial board member in that journal and author of one of this paper. So we actually define the levels of autonomy. If we are going to go to autonomous surgery, we need to definition of the autonomous surgery. We need to definition for the ethical levels of the autonomous actions as well, and how it will be done, who will be do, and who is going to be called as a surgeon. So if you go and look at the journal website, you can reach journal. It's an open journal, open access. You can reach quickly, and you can read all the papers, and you can get more information. For example, I'm preparing one special issue on the artificial intelligence on the future of surgery. And I'd like to say that Rodolfo Oviedo is our CEO. He's also writing one paper on AI and risk-benefit calculation in oncological surgery. What's the future? So there are many other papers. If any one of you wants to prepare something on that topic as well, please do contact me, and I will try to do my best to get you involved in this kind of projects as well. So if we come back to future perspectives in the digital surgery, starting from the 2025, from this year, we will see cloud-centric robotics. We are actually seeing the cloud-centric robotics not only on the medical side, but we are seeing that on the technology side, especially on the automation, especially Hyundai's, Toyota's, and also Tesla driving companies and factories, that they are all using this kind of robots as well. I will explain what that means. But it's going to go and end up in the robotic automation, and then we will move on to computer-assisted surgery. Totally, every procedure is going to be done by the computers if we can manage to do cloud-centric robotic system for the surgery as well. So what I mean by saying cloud-centric robotics, so cloud-centric surgical robotics actually involves the robotic systems like Da Vinci platforms, like next generation micro robots, like single port robots, like nano robots connected to cloud infrastructure via high speed networks. So we need at least 5G to control all of them in the cloud as well. So cloud will act as a hub for processing the algorithms for image analyzers, haptic feedback, motion planning, or data storage to housing the patient records, 3D anatomical models, and surgical archives for the patient, and the collaboration enabling the remote surgeons, AI systems, global teams to work together in real time. And also you can use that cloud infrastructure for training and simulation of the human and of the robot as well. So if you are actually going to have an access to cloud, then you can build the information, you can plan it, put the code on that, you can test any new procedure, and then you can release the information. You can move on and you can put that information to the robot, and you can do all the actions necessary by using cloud robotic system. Unlike the standalone surgical robots, as we have now, which rely on the onboard processors and the local data, cloud-centric system distribute the tasks to the cloud first, and then reduces the hardware constraints and enable the dynamic scalability. So by using that, we will enhance the precision, and we will have a chance to do remote surgery and the real-time collaboration from my country to other countries. We can actually do movement and action together, and AI-driven decision support systems will be available. And digital twins, which I mentioned a couple of slides ago, and the simulation will be available. By using this, you can actually make a replicas of a patient's anatomy hosted in the cloud, and which allows surgeons to simulate procedures beforehand, reduces the risks for the surgeon. So, and it's going to help for the scalable data integration as well. So there are a couple of slides left, but I would like to mention on the NVIDIA's. NVIDIA is a company, you know, they are working on the new chips that you can actually use and put millions of data in actually 1 millimeter size of a chip as well. So they are working on the AI robotics in healthcare as well. Their system called as Isaac for healthcare. So what they are doing is they are using the multimodal data, and they are creating the surgical digital twin for the training of the robot. So for example, I have a cancer in my colon, so they actually use the twin of my body by using the multimodal processing and imaging systems. And then when they create my twins, they leave the robot to work on that system many times, working, doing the resection, suturing and everything. They are actually managing and trying all possible scenarios as well, and making sure that if anything goes wrong, what the robot is going to do. So, and then deploy in the real world as well. So this is also subtask automation of the workflow of the system, how the system is working. And you can see that NVIDIA, by using the digital system, digital surgery, and the cloud-centric robotics, in about 5-10 years, actually in 5 years' time, I'm hoping that the system is going to be available and the full autonomous robot will do the operations as well. And you can see they are currently using the ultrasound imaging and the digital twins as well. So what they do is with the ultrasound arm, they get the information from you, and during the operation on the digital twins, they use this ultrasound arm and to create and to find and to help you to help the robot to find the right direction for the dissection planes as well. So this is NVIDIA, and I'd like to mention about the possibility of attacking this system, cloud-centric robotic, as if you have a hacker, you can actually attack on the patient vitals. You can attack on the videos and cut the information between robot and the cloud as well. And you can also attack the arms control system as well. So we need to control this data safety. We need to evaluate, and we need to make sure that data safety and data security is done properly by the system. And the feature by using, as I mentioned, robotics and automation, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, telemedicine, and remote surgery. All of them together is actually called as digital surgery, but together with nanotechnology, personalized medicine, genomics, and regenerative medicine will convert everything. So as a surgeon, I was lucky that I was able to see proper traditional conservative surgery, laparoscopic surgery, and robotic surgery. I'm sure that the next generation of surgeons will see digital surgery, But after that, in 20 years' time, surgeons become digital, and we will probably make the softwares only, and we will help them to do the procedure. All of them just for the better outcome of the patient, better care of team experience, and to decrease the cost as well. But I also would like to make a speculation for the 2050. I don't know whether me, Professor Targarona, Adalebu Murat, Rodolfo will be around still, but you are, as a young generation, will be around. But I would like to say that there is going to be self-healing bodies. We will not need to do anything for the any kind of disease. So bodies will be treated by triggering some micro robots to fix the issues as well. And we will have also consciousness uploads, and we will make we can think of something as Neuralink is doing now. This is the wearable sensors that can analyze any change in our body at the moment. They are working on it, analyze it, and make corrections in the same time. So in the future, we don't need any surgeon or treatment to deal with it. And also this wound monitoring sensor assembly as well. So this is Neuralink. Elon Musk is making a lot of process and success on the inserting a chip in people who have no ability to move or to control their legs or their arms because of the disease or because of the trauma as well. So it's working now. What they are thinking now is to not only put this chip to the human, to make the human conscious, human brain and human knowledge, to transfer that to the robot, and then we can actually teach robot to act as a human as well, which this is the one of the first page of one of my article, which I published in the beginning of 2001. I was saying that robot surgeons are coming, but now we know that, and then 20 years later, we published in digital surgery, artificial intelligence for new generation robotics. With my son, he's doing robotic engineering in the United States now. And I have to say that for the future, we will see that every surgical curriculum will include the robotic skills as well, not only on the oncological surgeons, but the general surgeons, including every steps of the surgical education. We will either have artificial intelligence for the education, or we will have robotic surgery education and training models for becoming a surgeon, or for becoming a surgeon who control robots which does the operation for the disease as well. So I would like to show you some examples of the robotic surgery, but I can't go all of them. I also show you a couple of minutes. You can see this Da Vinci Xi, and it's a œsophagectomy. You can see the dissection around the major veins and the arteries in the thorax as well. So this is the procedure done by Philip Chu. If I go a little bit further, because I will show you the Whipple's, colons, and everything in a couple of minutes from each. You can see the meticulous dissection around the vessels. You can see the lymph nodes, and you can see the quality of the visions, even with this level of robot. For the future, it's going to be much better than this one, and it's going to be haptic sensation, and we will know which one is the hollow organ, which one is the solid organ when we are doing dissection. If we can move the other one, you can see that this is a Whipple procedure, and you can see the dissection around the duodenum now, and you can see the major vessels cutting. So this is the common bile duct, and this is the gastroduodenal artery, dissection around the hepatic arteries, and you can see the pancreas is actually there, and now cutting the pancreas, seeing the ductus is easy. This is one of the most important procedure in surgery, general surgery, and you can see the dissection around the portal vein, superior mesenteric vein, and the portal vein upwards. So this is a meticulous dissection, errorless suturing, which is the future part of the future of surgery, as you can see. So it's possible to do this kind of difficult procedure by using robot as well. And I'm sure many of you who are listening my talk today are doing this kind of surgeries. This is the hepaticojejunostomy, single layer, and then the gastroenterostomy is the end of the robotic Whipple. Then I'll move off on one of my other procedure. So you can see the low anterior resection, and you can see the dissection around the inferior mesenteric adipovascular pedicle, and you can see the artery. You can see the scissors. How good the view is. The vision of the computer is definitely much better. 3D. During the procedure, you sit on the console and you can see the vessels, planes, and you can see the inferior mesenteric vein up, and this is the triceps ligament. We will go up and see the inferior mesenteric vein, dissect around it, and then we will clip the inferior mesenteric vein as well. If there's a left colic vein, you have to clip that as well, as you can see here, and the dissection will carry on. You can either further go up and dissect around the pancreas and go the splenic flexura, or you can go down. It's based on your tradition. I found to go down on this stage easy in this patient. Sometimes I go upwards and sometimes I go downwards. So I do the dissection around here in front of the promontorium. You can see we are actually going and dissecting mesorectum. This is the valvular fascia. It's a lady. So this is the valvular fascia, and we are actually dissecting in front of the valvular fascia and making sure that the mesorectum is going to come out totally unharmed. So on the lateral ligaments, dissection by using scissors only. So you can do this dissection. So this is the vaginal wall, anterior reflection. I will go a little bit faster. Yeah. Okay, now you can see the ureter. We are just dissecting around the ureter now. We will take it down. Okay, hypogastric nerve is preserved. It's the vaginal wall. We are going to go through the plan. Okay, and you can see the anal sphincters. We have to save them, and we have to make sure that the rectum is out there. So it's going to be intersphincteric resection in this patient as the tumor were located. So this is not robotic stapler, but we are now using robotic staplers on this level as well. It's definitely better than the bench-side stapling device. So you can see the hypogastric nerves, you can see the ureters, you can see the levator anus down there as well. So now I finished this, and then I will try to take the splenic flexura down, and you will see the dissection around the pancreas as well. I will show you in a minute. Okay. So we'll go from here through the pancreas. On top of the pancreas, we will release the mesocolon. You can see the pancreas there. And if you are happy with the dissection and the level of the colon going down easily, so we will just finish the dissection. So the last one I will show you is the liver resection, is the left lateral segment resection. You will see here, this is the video from one of my friend, and this is from Laura Albors, and you can see she's using hook as well, and dissection around is untying the vessels. clipping and cutting, no problem at all. Very professional. And you can see with the help of the ultrasound and deciding the level on resection on the liver. So this is left hepatectomy. Is gonna be on top of the vena cava. So I'm sure there are many liver surgeons who can do this and who can do even better than this. So you can see the dissection perfectly done without any bleeding. Vessel sealer extent is being used for that, and sometimes you can prefer to use the stapling device on here as well. So this is the end, and you can take the liver out. So in conclusion, I have to say that robotic surgery in its current form is a form of artificial intelligence, yes, but it's a necessary step towards fully autonomous actions in surgery. Artificial intelligence in surgery has the potential to improve outcomes, doctor-patient relationship, and job satisfaction for surgeons at all stages of surgical care. And surgeons should learn the basics of artificial intelligence and try to better understand its potential benefits. And you can see here, I was actually in Bali on ELSA meeting. So I was lying down on the beach, and one of my friends, Professor Metin Ertem, did this cartoon, and he imagined me like this as I was doing the future of surgery. So if we need remote surgery, for remote surgery, we need 5Gs, robotic technology and wireless networking. Cyber attacks and unstable internet connection makes it impossible at the moment now. So I would like to finish with the Charles Darwin's idiom, and you probably all know, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. So please be responsive to change in order to survive as a surgeon. Thank you very much for all your attention, and I'm ready for any questions that you would like to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was a robust presentation. I can see everybody writing also on the chat how they've been impacted with all that you've taught us today. We're so glad to have you. I can say that I love the way you brought it from the rudiment and then you built it to where we are and then what we should expect. With that, I want to quickly move to some of the questions we have. I'm going to be reading one or two because because of time. I don't want to keep us too much here. So one of the questions we have from Ailey Miriam, I'm sorry if that's not how your name is pronounced, from Sierra Leone. She said, thank you, Professor, for this exception and new paradigm presentation on innovation in surgical care. My question is, one domain of surgical care is research. So will you please tell us the circumstance of research ethics in robotics and AI in surgical studies?
Yeah, I mentioned about the research ethics and data collection for the robotic surgeries and the new generation artificial intelligence system as well, which is very important. I mean, if you are planning to do any research on the robotic side, especially if the patient is involved, you need to get the permission, you need to get the ethical permission, you need to get the permission from your patient as well, and you need to get the institutional review board permission as well. And also you need to have a proper design and proper research setup. For that, we need to make sure that you are not actually trying any new device or experiment without the knowledge of your patient, on the patient, and you're not using that robot just to keep learning by trying on your patient. So you have to be trained properly. There are steps of training on robotic surgery. I'm sure most of you all know, but if you don't know, I would like to say something you have to do, and you have to pass the online education and online testing by DaVinci, available at the moment now. Then they will take you to a robotics and one of the robotic centers. You will try on the models and then the animals first, and then you have to join for the robotic centers to see and to join the operation together with the robotic surgeons. And then if you have a robot available in your center, if you are planning to start robotic surgery, in order to do a case alone, you need to do at least 9 cases together with experienced robotic surgeons. So you cannot say that, okay, I will go ahead and start robotic surgery in my patient today without having any set steps that I mentioned earlier on. So, but if you have a robotic center designed and diagnosed or known or certified robotic centers, and if you are planning to do a research on the robotic surgery, then you need to apply for the ethical approval from the institution to get the permission to do that research as well. So in TORG+TROGSS, we are doing some robotic surgery research, mainly based on the questionnaires and Delphi studies, but also as an experience centers like my centers, like other 15 or 20 centers, as I can see from the names of the surgeons. So we can plan to do special research on the procedures like robotic bariatric surgery, robotic revisional surgery, robotic colorectal surgery, based on the, as I said, protocols and the ethical approval from each centers and the different countries. So you cannot go ahead and do the research saying that, okay, I will do research on the robot by using robot on my patient.
Thank you so much. I have another one from Gloria, who's from Ethiopia, Rwanda, /Rwanda, sorry. She asks that there are different types of robots and functioning the same. Why would some surgeons prefer or like some robots over another? Then comparing robotic surgery and laparoscopic surgery, which one of them has higher rates of complication? That's another one. She asks a lot of questions. I think I will give you those two first, then I will read the other ones that she asked.
As I said, robots are not doing the operation. So operations are being done by the surgeon. So the complications are not because of robot. Complications are just because of surgeon and because of inadequate experience or because of the wrong dissection planes or malfunction of the robots during the procedure as well. So in order to avoid the complication, you need to have the proper education and get the experience for that procedure first. The second, no difference. She was asking whether there's a difference between laparoscopic and robotic surgery. So if you are doing sleeve gastrectomy, for example, there is no difference between robotic and laparoscopic surgery. But if you are doing most complex procedures like revisional surgery on bariatric side and the duodenal bypass surgeries, which requires a lot of suturing and a lot of articulation and augmentation during the procedure, or if you are doing colorectal surgery, especially rectal surgery, there are many papers saying that for the colorectal tumors, robotic surgery looks like better, especially for the rectal cancer, is definitely better than laparoscopic surgery. Not only because of the less pain, being less invasive, but also functionally, it's better than laparoscopic or open surgery. So oncological results seems similar. So what I will say is robot setup is quite expensive. So if your country or if your hospital can afford to buy a robot, if you have a robot on site, if your patient can afford to pay the expenses of the robot, yes, if you are a robotic surgeon, please do robotic surgery. If you have no robot, if you have no chance of buying a robot, then you have to try to be a better laparoscopic surgeon to discover or to release the better surgery, to offer better surgery for your patient. Otherwise, I cannot say that the one is better than the other one. If you have robot, definitely you will see that robotic surgery has some sense and some advantages in some part of the bodies, some part of the disease as well, for especially on prostate and urological surgery, on the robotic rectal cancer surgery, and especially in deep pelvis, and also BMI over 50, and you will see that robotic surgery is definitely better than laparoscopic surgery.
Thank you so much. So I went through some other questions that people are asking on the chat, and I see that most of them are things that you addressed when you were speaking. So for all the people that asked the question, you can go on the YouTube channel and go through what Dr. ÖZMEN has talked to us about, and you have answers to that. The only one that I think I would want to ask is someone asks about if we have robotic surgery for C-sections and for cases of pediatrics and neonates.
So repeat again, pediatrics and C-section.
Yes, cesarean section, robotic surgery for cesarean section and pediatrics. Is that something that is being done?
I don't think, I mean, gynecology is using robotic surgery mainly for the gynecological oncology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no need for the robotics for the sexual cesarean. But there are some robotic applications of the pediatric surgery for the fetus when they have a disease inside the uterus. So you can actually treat them by doing the intrauterine robotic surgery, even they still inside the uterus as a fetus. So there are a couple of surgeries like this one for the heart surgery as well.
Thank you so much. And I think that would be all for now on the chat session. I don't know if any other person has any question that not things that he has addressed.
I can see one here. How
Do
can
you have how do you ensure? No.
No, they are just introducing themselves. Sorry, no question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for all of that question that I went through, Dr. ÖZMEN has addressed them, so you can please go back and watch on our YouTube channel. In case you have any other question that you think was not answered, sir, would you be able to answer them if one of the TORG person sends you a message or a mail to look into the question? Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I would like to thank you for helping me today. And it was an honor for me to be part of this program with TROG and TROGSS as well. So it's the Operating Room Society and the Robotic Global Society is a sister and brother society. So we are hoping that we will do better for the future program as well. Thank you for introducing me and thank you for helping me for this as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I just want to quickly let us know for people that are not so familiar with TORG and TROGSS. So TORG is a multidisciplinary professional platform that represents over 213,000 perioperative personnel. And we have over 42 healthcare disciplines, and it spans over 20 chapters in different countries. For TROGSS, that is TROGSS now. It's a international organization and it's dedicated to advancing the practice of education of robotic surgery across all surgical specialties. If you are not a member of TORG and TORGSS, it's a hand we're extending to you to join us and help us build what we're doing. Just like we said today, the future of surgery. If you have any other question, please reach out to any of us and we'll be glad to answer or direct you to appropriate place to get your answers. With this, I want to hand it over back to Dr. Michael for to just finish up. Oh, before I forget that also, We have so many announcements on our community on WhatsApp, things that are coming up, especially we have a webinar coming up with Ethiopia, TORG. It's something you don't want to miss on May 25th, and so many other things like our 10th year anniversary and scientific workshop coming up in Kigali, Rwanda, and so many other things that you don't want to miss. So you can just check our community and find out all the avenues where you can participate. All right, Dr. Emmanuel, over to you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
We can't hear you. We lost you there.
Hello. Dr. Okale. Okay, I think there is
Yes.
no, yeah. Who is around? Are you going to close the session or do you want me to close the session?
Is going to close. Dr. Michael is going to close. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. It was really insightful. I learned a lot, and I think you are actually loaded. If you don't mind, we can still bring you back to continue from where you stopped, if that's okay. Thank you.
That's perfect. I'll be at your disposal anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dr. Emmanuel.
Can we hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think I lost connection for a while. All right. Again, I said, let me thank Dr. Ozman for his presentation. Thank you so much. And without wasting our time, thanks to everyone who has joined in from around the globe. Thanks to TROGSS and TORG for this amazing section we've just had. We have other sections coming up. I just dropped one, which is coming up next weekend. You could also take the link to register. Please do not forget to also ensure that you take the survey, which will pop up at the end of this section. Of course, I also dropped the link in the chat section. Of course, you can also join TORG and TROGSS and become a member. I would not like to take our time anymore. We've done a lot this evening. I'm speaking from Nigeria, or this morning, wherever you're talking from, or afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, and we hope to see you in the next webinar. We had a live stream on YouTube. You can check a replay on that. Of course, the replay of this will also be available on our YouTube channel. If you have not followed us on any of the social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, you can do well to locate TORG and TROGSS on LinkedIn to follow. And also, of course, you could follow Dr. Ozman, Professor Adebusola, Professor Adel on all the social media handles as well. This has been an amazing time with each and every one of us, and we hope to see you in the next webinar. Thank you so much for joining in, and bye-bye.
Thank you, and let me thank everyone for inviting me, and our President Adel Abu Murat, and our CEO Rodolfo Oviedo, and also Adebola Owakale, Ambassadors Club President Chair. And I would like to thank both of you as chair for chairing my session, and hope to repeat this again. I also would like to thank all the participants from all over the world. We probably had people, over 100 people from something like 48 different countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.